Hey, I'm teacher Jess, and today we're going to be learning all about recycling. Everyone should have one of these with you. The first thing we're going to do is read this together. Then we're going to go over some comprehension questions, which just means asking ourselves how well we learn the material and seeing if we can use that information to answer some questions. We'll fill out a graphic organizer together, and it's about the 6 R's of recycling. Don't worry if you don't know what the 6 R's of recycling are. In between those two, we're going to watch a video that tells you all about it. Everybody should have one of those handouts that I just showed you. It's called Recycling and Conservation, Why Recycle by ReadWorks. If you are somebody who likes to read on your own, now is a good time to go take your page and sit in front of your doorway. You can read it to yourself. If nobody wants to hear a read aloud, you're welcome to pause this or mute it as I read it aloud. And you can read along with me in your head. Or if somebody wants to volunteer to read it, you can do the same thing. Just mute the TV and go ahead and read aloud. Recycling is a process where something is reused rather than thrown away. Common items that are recycled include aluminum and steel cans, glass, and newspapers. Recycling can be time-consuming and dirty work. For example, recyclable objects have to be sorted from trash. Then the objects have to be cleaned. Afterwards, the objects are turned into materials that can be used by people and companies. Why should people bother to recycle, even though it takes a lot of work? Recycling helps protect the earth. Recycling means less garbage in landfills. These are places where garbage is taken and buried. Recycling also helps conserve the earth's resources. For example, factories use less energy by recycling steel cans than by making new ones. Recycling paper saves trees from being cut down. Trees are used to make paper. Every time you are about to drop a plastic bottle in the garbage, you could stop and think, is it worth harming the earth? Your actions now can help preserve the environment for generations to come. All you have to do is throw that bottle into a recycle bin. Get in the habit. Be proud of recycling. Encourage others to recycle. You can make a difference. We are moving on to our reading comprehension questions. Everybody should have this page. Go ahead and start by putting your name at the top. And you are going to read through each question and give your best answer. There is a front and back. So on the front we have 4 questions. On the back we have 3 more questions and a writing prompt. When you get to that number 8, your writing prompt says, what does the author suggest you do when you're about to throw a plastic bottle in the garbage? Make sure you fill that out with a complete sentence, and then press play and we'll go over our answers together. You should have had a few minutes to answer all 8 questions, so we're going to go over the answers together. 1. What is recycling? The answer to number 1 is A, a process where something is reused. 2. How does the author organize the information in this passage? The answer to number 2 is letter D. The author describes recycling and shares an argument about why it is important. 3. Read the following sentences. Recyclable objects have to be sorted from trash, then the objects have to be cleaned. These sentences can be used to support which conclusion below? The answer is B. Recycling can be time-consuming and dirty work. 4. What can be concluded from this passage? The answer is D. The author believes that everyday people can help the earth. Turning on the back, 5. What is the main idea of this passage? A. Recycling helps protect the earth and conserve its resources. 6. At the end of paragraph 1, the author asks, why should people bother to recycle even though it takes a lot of work? Why does the author include this question? The answer is A. To transition the reader to the next paragraph, which answers the question. Number 7. Choose the answer that best completes the sentence below. Recycling takes work. Blank, it is good for the environment. Your answer is letter D, the word but. Number 8. What does the author suggest you do when you're about to throw a plastic bottle in the garbage? Looking back at our reading, we can tell all the way at the bottom, the author is telling us that we need to stop and think before we throw a plastic bottle in the garbage. What should we be thinking about? Should we be thinking about whether or not we want to get rid of it? Or is there a better way to get rid of it? Talk about that in your small group and then press play. This is just really sped up, going through extra fast. If you want to watch it in real time, it is on the Teacher Jess YouTube playlist. This is just an idea of what you can make out of a used piece of paper and how to keep it from going in the recycling bin after just reading it one time. Go ahead over to the Teacher Jess YouTube playlist. There are 2 videos to watch. The first one is called How Recycling Works, and there are 2 How Recycling Works videos to choose from. One is 4 minutes long. That's kind of geared towards younger kids. It's really fast, gives you all the information, and is kind of silly. The second one is 9 minutes long, and it's more geared towards middle school. So whichever one you're feeling up for today, just let staff know and you guys can watch one or both of them. And then you're going to follow that with the 6 R's video, which is only 3 minutes long, a little more dry like I said, but that's the second video. And then if you're interested in seeing how to make this paper box, you can watch that video on the Teacher Jess YouTube page. Have a good one, guys.